I'll tell you what. I gave up. I didn't do that at all. So look, we're going to talk, but first of all, would you want me to introduce me?
Absolutely.
All right, I'll introduce me first. And when I do, let me get this in. Your shooting is generally going to be down to the waist, right? When
You're from about here up.
Oh, that's real good. And I can keep this here.
Absolutely.
All right.
And you look good. Let me say you're looking good.
I am?
Yes, sir.
How about that?
You look great.
A hair comb too.
Absolutely.
Gee,
Not a hair out of
very
place.
good. Okay, then may I introduce myself? I'm Martin Nodell, I think. Wait.
Check the spelling.
Yeah, Martin Nodell. No, I call myself Martin Nodell, which is usually the thing, the way it goes in comics, and that's the way I've been known for many, many years. And when I came to New York City, I wish it wouldn't make so much noise in the background there, but you know they're waiting for Stan Lee, whom I know I had gone to work with him many years later. But meanwhile, the way it went was this. Coming to New York City, I tried getting various kinds of artwork, mainly because I had already been in school in Chicago, came from, and in New York City too. And it was very nice getting used to a great big city and all that. But work wasn't that available.
Now, what year is this, Marty? What year would this be?
You have to know the year too. That goes back. Wait a minute. Wait. Let me find out. I'd say about 60 years is about how far back it goes. And why does it go back 60 years? Because in 1940, I created Green Lantern.
Okay.
Prior to that, about 1938, my wife and I and a brother came to New York City mainly on the basis of trying to make a living. In Chicago, I was interested in show business, and I began to do some work in the theater.
Really?
Both on the stage, backgrounds, scenery,
Great.
the works. And this was to me kind of pleasure in that I thought this is where I'd really wind up. And in doing so, I had a number of letters from Chicago. I showed it to the theater people. Theater people said, you do artwork? Go to the art people. The art people said, go to the theater people. So I tried looking into what was going on today. I looked at the, first of all, we have a lot of footage here.
Oh yeah.
A lot of footage.
We got an hour's
so
worth.
We'll talk. When we noticed in those days, you had the stands that rotated, and especially in mom and pops type of stores.
Yeah.
Had cards and all sorts of things. Also, comic books. So I checked out about the comic book business, and I was able to work on some. They looked kind of like good to me, and I could make a few dollars. In those days, they were paying $5 per page, almost as much as you pay.
No, that's still higher than what I pay. But it's close. It's close.
However, the thing is, the reason for all that was very simple. The Pulse were paying $5 a page for a print page or for a page of art,
Really?
or for a possible small portion of art,
Right.
or how much ever it was. They were paying $5 a page. So then the comics were paying $5 a page. It's grown up to about, say, an average of about $150 a page. That's for me, that is.
Yeah. Oh well, you're a celebrity.
For Bill Black doesn't pay that sort of money.
Dick Ayers will tell you that.
That's just an aside. Actually, the work in pencil was a first effect, in those days, you couldn't do that. You did the entire job. So
Right, yeah.
I would do a pencil, get it approved, go downtown, get it checked out, not use a day, and all that, and come home, and then it's inked. We also have to erase it, clean it up.
Did you do the lettering?
Lettering too. Even the lettering.
You did everything.
Everything had to be done, and we had to give it over to whoever would be interested in it. We sold a few things, and as I did, I was just doing one job, and I'd go back with him. He'd be out of business.
Yeah.
Or he'd go off to someplace else, or he'd go off to Poughkeepsie or something like that, and he'd be in another business. So that wouldn't be very good for us. So what I thought would be possibly the best idea is in checking out what other comics there were. There was a Superman, 2 years old. There was a Batman, 1 year old. These things were perpetual business.
Right.
And they were not doing too bad. We'd be better off going right over to them in the first place. We're getting close. Now, I had decided to see the editor there. I saw the editor's name in one of the books. That was Sheldon Mayer. I saw Sheldon Mayer, and I showed him my samples, and he said, if you can do a few things, perhaps, why don't you do that? The thing is, we are looking for another hero-type character. Now, if we should find another good hero-type character that we could use, then we'll be interested.
Okay.
The person you'll see would be MC Gaines, Morris M.
He's the publisher.
Gaines. The publisher. Okay. We see the old man. Okay. Ooh, that's good. I'm about 22 years old, something like that. And I was overawed by the whole thing. But I know that Sheldon Mayer did a lot of good work. It was interesting seeing his work. He was very good and humorous.
Right, he was a cartoonist.
Right.
Funny, yeah.
Good, too. Very good. So I felt that I'm going to go home and try something. I better rush this. If he's interested in somebody doing something, it's an open door. Anybody can come in. Also, he would be concerned with whoever would be coming to see him on the outside or visiting or whatever. He'd mention it to everybody. If he does, I'm going to get moving.
Yeah.
So, this is where the whole story begins. Now, ta-da! I was on my way home. And you're going to edit that, I hope.
No, I'm going to leave that in.
You're going to leave that all in. I decided that if I'm going to do anything at all, it'll have to be quick. I know I've got something here.
Need a lifesaver or something?
No, but I've got these things. One on to one of the shows, and it was in my side pocket, and the porter was taking our stuff over to the hotel, and he said, you know, you've got Tic Tacs in your pocket. I don't want that to show, so I better put it in my other pocket, so I keep it here. Okay. Are we on? We're on again.
We're on again.
Okay. Ta-da! Curtains widen. I'm on. And the first thought I had in mind was the best way to go is what I would tell anyone. Keep in mind what is your own thinking, what is your own background, what are your experience, whatever it was that you had previously done before, and whatever it was, put it into an idea.
Okay.
Okay, I was interested in Chinese folklore, Greek mythology. I could add to that opera. Like
Opera?
Opera. I'd work that in. How would I do that? I could work something else into that. The ring cycle. Using Wagner's ring cycle into the idea of the ring cycle. What would I do with it? That is all yet to come. So, next step was getting a seat in the subway. Went down the stairs, I kept making notes, all that sort of thing, and there was a train man on the tracks waving a red lantern for the train not to come in. And people were ganging up, there were more and more people coming onto the platform, but I was still writing notes. And at about then, he started to wave a green lantern. Green meant go to me. Go, move. I wrote down Green Lantern as a possible title idea, just as a possible. And I thought, well, maybe we can work with that instead of Super Gung-Ho Man or something like that. And by working that thought out, by the way, the train man got behind the platform and he stayed behind there. The train came in, doors open, I rushed in, I pushed a little old lady away from the seat so I could sit down. That was necessary so I could write notes. I was about 3/4 of an hour away from home. So at that point, we lived in Brooklyn. Okay? So, putting all the notes together, I put it all together, I put it into a mix master, and I mushed it all up, and what came out was this. To have a character with a variously interested type of costume. So if it's colorful, that's what I like. Okay, a colorful costume. I do a sketch of that. And in color. Watercolors that I used at that time. And then from then on, a Greek mythological type of costume in sorts. That was the way I tried working it out. What could I do about the ring thing? Work out something. I wasn't quite sure, but I'd use that. Hey, how about the lantern? Lantern has to become involved in that. It's a green lantern. Have the lantern be ethereal. Oh, I like Chinese folklore with a meteor coming down, smashing out, leaving a lantern. I developed that more
later on,
specifically. Yeah. And then with that, and the lantern might have, be something unusual so that I could add to that. Then I'd add a few other story ideas. I developed 3 pages of a storyline. I drew 4 pages in pencil. I did a couple of pages in ink. No, 4 pages in ink. I worked in ink and that was it, as far as I knew, doing it that way. Worked in ink, finished it out, put the whole thing together, called them. This was all within a week.
Wow.
I thought to myself, this has got to be now.
Exactly.
Or else. After all, the Depression was still on. And Hitler was getting his operations in order for himself too. So we had a lot to worry about. So I felt that if I could move things into such a way that I could make a presentation, which is what I did. I called the mayor. The mayor said, "Oh, I will see. I'll let you know." Another day passed by. I couldn't wait. A couple of days did pass by. It was into the second week. And he told me, "Okay, come in to see Mr. Gaines." Okay, that was a big thing. I came in to see Mr. Gaines. He looked at the mayor, looked at the work, and he thought, "Well, I don't know. He wasn't terribly much interested."
Really?
He wasn't. So I kind of possibly threw something.
Okay.
Actually, that noise came from one of my later bosses from 1948 to 1950. So that's Stan Lee, by the way. Okay, I dropped the name. Okay, so now, going on, we came into Gaines' office, and Gaines closed the door after Sheldon went out. And I sat down with Gaines. He said, "I know what this is. I looked it all over. Silence, and more silence, and more silence. No noise like that background at all. You can hear me all right, can't you?"
I hope so. That's why I have the microphone pointing towards you and not towards that. So.
Oh, it had better be.
It better, because this is good stuff.
I know it is. It had better be good stuff. Because who knows? Maybe someday we'll use it to show the courts. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't say another word. Don't say another word.
I'm with you.
So, next step, more silence. A long time passed, but he was flipping the pages.
Okay.
I wrote a synopsis with it too.
Oh, yeah?
And a way of presenting the whole thing, the way a play would be done on Broadway.
I see.
So that my thinking was, and I knew a little about that actually getting involved in something that would progress and be used later on as well. Well, that's good. That's where we are. Okay. So then, we flipped again, put it all down, looked at me, said, "We like it."
Just like that.
And his next steps were to say, "Get to work." That was all that was said, all that I recall, and that began Green Lantern.
Did they tell you how many pages they needed, or?
They would work on 13. The first group was the Green Lantern title. To develop a title, which is what I did, calling it Green Lantern. Obviously, that was a logo.
Right.
And with the logo, that was the first development of it, and a splash page